from different places, we all have different names. No matter what life brings us, Jesus is the same. We're just your Methodist to the madness. Methodist to the madness. Methodist to the madness. Methodist to the madness.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Hey.
Beth.
Hey, Beth. Hey, Jessica.
It's good
Is it
to
okay
see you
that-
guys.
It's good to see you too. Is it
Yeah,
okay
good.
that I called you guys? I know that
Yeah.
It's a Midwestern word that is used as a
it's gender
plural.
neutral
It
Yeah.
is.
for more
I do
than
that
one
all the
person.
time. Yeah.
Okay, I do too.
However, I was going to say in my trainings that I've done for work on like sexual harassment, they tell me that I can't say guys,
I
Oh.
understand that.
but we don't do those trainings for this podcast.
No,
Well,
I'm actually
thinking-
kind of, what?
I was thinking about it. Like, dude, I think is also gender neutral
Yes.
unless it's one of them. If it's one guy, that's a male. If it's one dude, also a male. But if I say dudes plural, I'm talking to all of you,
Yeah, exactly.
Now
male
is-
or female or not binary.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
totally.
very interesting.
I broke Tim.
Oh yeah,
Anyway,
yeah. I'm broke. I'm broken. There's no sentence that can be said without being a half sentence. No. So is
well,
bro
what's
gender
going on
neutral?
with you? What?
Wait. Is bro gender neutral? You know how people are like, "Oh, hey, bro." Like two girls would say that.
think
or,
When you have teenagers, it is, yeah.
oh, okay,
like,
okay.
I wept the first day my kid called me bruh.
Oh,
Yeah.
Interesting. Wow.
I didn't really
good.
weep, but
Oh,
that is.
I actually bought that. I thought you actually did weep because, like, you're invited into the in crowd now that
Yeah,
you're
I
being
stopped-
called bro. It's
I
excellent.
stopped being mom and started being bruh.
But actually, like real quick, this is kind of important to me because I started changing my language at some point. I think like maybe 6 months ago or a year ago, I was like, I don't know if I want to say you guys all the time. Like, even though we're just now talking about how it's like gender neutral more or less, but I've kind of, I've actually been saying like you both or you two or you all,
Yeah.
like on a consistent basis for the most part.
The proper thing to say.
I guess
More
I'm not brave
inclusive.
enough to say y'all though, even though it's really common. I always say you all, and maybe at some point I'll pass through the wall or something and start saying y'all. But
You might need to ask a Southerner. Maybe Jessica, you can check with Amber. Can non-Southerners say y'all?
yeah,
No, it's interesting because when we moved out to this area, a lot of people say y'all. And I don't know if it's because there's like ranchers around and they just like are living out the episodes of Yellowstone or something, but like it definitely is very common. And anyways, it's interesting, but I think it's okay.
cool.
Okay.
Cool. I really like that. So I don't need to get approval from, well, maybe I'll have to get Amber's approval.
You
But
probably should
technically,
still.
yes, I probably should still.
I
yes.
try to get Amber's approval for almost everything in my life.
Excellent.
Beth
Yes,
sends text messages to Amber every morning asking certain questions about how to go forward with the day.
Right.
Yeah, because I
Excellent.
just don't know how.
Yeah.
So I will do the same.
I texted Amber, should I leave the house wearing this Halloween shirt? And she was like, no. So I'm still in the house
So Beth has not left the house at all today.
since Halloween. No.
Well, how has this past week been for you guys?
So I guess I can go. Let me see
Yeah.
here. So my So my big thing last week was I had a toothache, and I'm like, okay, what am I going to do about this? So I did the right thing, and I took care of my teeth with my dental program here by Dr. Ellie Phillips. But then, like 2 days later, I'm like, this toothache is not going away. So what I did was I wanted to do something on my own first. I had the option open of seeing the dentist about it, but I'm like, I want to do exactly what I think is going to help the most. And so, like, in addition to what I was doing, like the brushing my teeth and mouthwashes and all that stuff with the program, I decided to like do an extraordinary kind of fast. I actually did a 40-hour fast. And after the 40-hour fast, I actually felt like my tooth was significantly better. I was really like pleased about that. And like I had reduced symptoms overall regarding the pain. And like now I'm basically asymptomatic. Like I completely got over the toothache. So I'm really happy about that. And I'm determined to just continue to take care of my teeth. And not skip those days like after dinner when I'm tired, like try to have less skip days and just being more careful about that. So yeah, but in general, I'm not a doctor or anything like that. So anybody who feels that they have something in mind that they want to do for their teeth, then I would totally support them on that. But this is just what ended up working for me. That is just being more careful, and then doing an extended kind of fast actually was really helpful. So good news all around on that front.
That's great, Tim.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that.
I think I know where all of this stemmed from, though.
What?
I think you had too many cookies at the party. And what happened was your teeth were like, help! And by you fasting for 48 hours, you were able to get all of that sugar from those cookies out of your teeth and your cavities.
Wow.
Or like your tooth cavity. I'm not saying you have cavities, but I'm saying
your tooth holes.
Your tooth holes. Yeah. Your roots. Your tooth roots.
My roots, my aches, my holes in my teeth, all of the above. No, yeah, that explains it right there. All those cookies, just kind of late onset there, suddenly have a toothache, suddenly need to fast. It just happened over a period of more than a week. It all makes sense now. Now I understand. I'm like, why didn't I get a toothache for months? And now all of a sudden after those cookies, my gosh. So your mileage may vary. Have cookies. Got to be careful now.
Should always be careful with cookies.
Right. They taste so amazing. So
I know.
My gosh. So the next part of my update is so I've been trying to figure out so my work was extra slow for like a week or so. And I didn't have a lot of customers talking to me about things. And I'm like, okay, well, I could do productive, professional development sort of stuff. So I had a higher sense of agency because I had a lot less interruptions. So I'm like, how can I improve my focus so that I can keep going with that higher sense of agency because I have no interruptions. Mm-hmm. And this is something that I maybe talked about on the podcast before. I'm not 100% sure, but I happened to find out that the Pomodoro technique has been so helpful for me since I put a lot more time and effort into it last week. And basically the Pomodoro technique is you work on a task for 25 minutes and then you take a 5-minute break, and you do that 4 times. And then on the 4th time, you take a longer break, like a 15-20 minute break or something like that. And it's just been really helpful in general, doing things that are less comfortable for me. It's just much more doable with having a dedicated 25 minutes and then take a 5-minute break. It's awesome. And so then I've just been thinking, how many Pomodoros is this going to take to complete this task? And so, of course, Pomodoro is Italian for tomato. So how many tomatoes is it going to take for me to complete this task? is fantastic. Exactly. So, just
tomatoes.
Think about tomatoes, and you can be more productive with your tasks. But that's actually been super helpful for me. So I highly recommend anybody who wants to be more productive to check out the Pomodoro technique. Nice. So that is all I have for my update.
Love it.
Thank you.
It's exciting. I'm so glad your toothache is gone. I feel like Pomodoro sounds like this Zen technique that you could do with your life. That's what I think of.
Yeah.
I think of people raking sand. You're like, I'm just doing Pomodoro. It's fine. But
yeah, that's good.
That's not what it is. But anyway.
It's the
I was kind of thinking about technique. I don't know, just the fact that Pomodoro is Italian for tomato. I'm like, oh, I got these tomatoes and I'm working with these tomatoes on these things, And I don't know, just the word tomato is, that you have the whole thing like tomato,
yeah,
banana. No, not banana, but.
Did you say banana?
Yeah, I said banana.
Oh.
That has nothing to do with tomatoes.
Has nothing to do with tomatoes.
I just like bananas.
Wonderful.
Glad we had this talk.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Beth, what about you? Yeah. What have you been up to? Have any good bananas lately, Beth?
No, I actually haven't.
Oh, okay. You could go to the store and pick up a banana, but I don't know if you could order those online. You might be able to.
I got Instacart open right now. That's a good idea. I'm putting bananas in right now.
All right.
Right now, live on the podcast, I'm buying bananas in my 5-minute update.
Maybe we should, for like a Methodist moment, we could just call in on what Beth should get from the store.
We should figure out how to do like a live episode or something. That would be fun for our listeners.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So listeners, we're planning this, which means it will happen in the next year.
Yep. After our new co-host is born.
Oh, excellent.
So get ready.
Anyway. Yeah, so I forgot to mention in my update last week what we did after church last week. Craig and the boys and I met at Rubio's Fish Tacos and had lunch.
Nice.
And then we went across the street to Bob's Furniture. And yeah.
Did you get free ice cream and cookies?
Yes.
What?
Oh my goodness. I didn't know that was a thing. There's like in the middle of the store, there's like a little cafe area where you have free ice cream and cookies and coffee and tea. And I think there were I think that was about it. But I didn't have any coffee because I hate powdered creamer.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't cool down the coffee. It just makes it stay hot. And then you're just drinking hot coffee and being sad. So.
And it's like all foamy and it's burning your mouth.
They had peppermint there. I remember that because I made myself some tea and I put a peppermint in it.
Nice. Nice.
Anyway, we didn't buy any furniture. We just went for the free ice cream.
Nice.
But no, we did. We ended up buying some. Our couches have seen better days. I don't even know how old they are, but they're more than 10 years old. And we've gone through big dogs, little dogs, medium dogs with that.
Yeah. You've got good use out of your couches, basically.
Yeah. But they also have torn it up quite a bit. And I keep bringing in new dogs into our house. And I'm like, I need to wait till they stop tearing stuff up before I can bring in new furniture. I think we're at that place right now. So we ended up.
That's excellent.
We ended up getting 2 couches, and they both have the power reclining, like at the movie theaters.
And do they have the cell phone charger where you put your cell phone on it and it charges your phone without plugging it in? So
no, we didn't get that one because that's a leather one, and we can't do leather because we have dogs. And I
didn't realize they were leather.
And also, we're not take care of leather couches people. I know that about myself and the whole family. We're not going to oil it. We're not going to do the things we need to do to take care of it. We're just not. And so, and the dogs are going to ruin it anyway. So we need to be more practical. But it does have USB plugs in the sides.
Ooh, I love that.
Awesome.
And we got new end tables that also have USB plugs in them.
That's amazing.
We're going to be using so many outlets for our furniture where we previously didn't need any outlets for our furniture.
Right. I mean, that's basically going to become somebody's bedroom. They're going to be like, I'm going to sleep on the couch. I already have my phone plugged in.
I'm not sure how we're going to do it, but I envision like we're each all going to have like one place where we prefer to sit. And I'm totally going to be Sheldon about it and be like, you're in my spot.
Yeah.
But
that's so exciting.
Well, they won't be in until January 28th, which coincidentally is when my Bible study starts. Boundaries to Dr. Henry Cloud and Dr. John Townsend.
Wow.
But
that's like a reward for starting your boundaries study.
Yeah. So I've just been like trying to get the house ready, and which entailed me making a bookshelf that I bought several months ago to put up in our bonus room and never built it. And I bought 2, we're just buying all the furniture, I guess, but I bought 2 like glass display cases because I've been trying to get all my Lego sets up and running. Yeah. And so I got those I've got those display cases to put in my current Legos because they just, where they're at right now, they're in bad places and like they're broken and I need them in one place. They're all over the place. I want them in one centralized place. So I love building furniture. I'm not even joking. It's my favorite. So I don't know why it took me months to build that, but so that's what I'll be doing is just building a bunch of furniture, getting ready for
that's like jumbo Legos. You know?
I know. I was actually thinking about that as I was building the bookshelf. I was like, I went from little Legos to like functional grown-up Legos.
Yeah. I love putting furniture together as well. Anytime something needs to be built, I also enjoy finding scraps of things and building things out of them.
I don't know how to do that. But my stepdad's really good at that.
Mm.
That's what I did with in our goat lean-to. We had a broken bench and some pallets and then some extra wood. And I create a 2-tiered level like stand for them. So one can be on the lower bench and the other one can jump to the higher one.
Oh,
wow.
And it's so fun to build things.
Yeah.
Even if your name is not Bob. So
can we build it?
Yes, we can.
Bob the Builder can. Wait, what is it? What is the song? The lyric?
Oh, I got it wrong. It's Can We Fix It?
That's what it was. Can we fix it?
I wouldn't know because I don't even watch it. So
I just watched it this morning. I still watch it. I'm just kidding.
I actually believed you when you said that, Beth.
No.
I watched it this morning. Yeah.
That would be such a coincidence.
Yes. Well, for me this past week.
Oh yeah, how are you, Jessica? Sorry.
Yeah, how is everything,
excited.
Jessica?
You're fine. It's going to be pretty quick. I'm still recovering. I'm not as nasally, but at night, which is when we're recording the podcast, in the evenings, I usually have
right now.
my cough, which starts to come back a little bit.
Oh, okay.
And it's been reported that I snore now because of
Oh no.
Sorry.
and I've never snored, but I think that might also be a pregnancy thing, maybe. I don't know. We'll blame it on the pregnancy.
I
or
would.
the rain.
Yeah.
Good.
But so anyways, I'm hoping that kind of clears up a little bit. But
yeah, for sure.
But other than that, I mean, let's see. This past week, we've done kind of a lot. Like, we painted the nursery wall. We painted our front entryway. We cleaned out our entire garage.
What?
Donated a bunch of stuff and then had somebody come haul away a bunch of stuff. And so that, like, it feels so good. Like, I love getting rid of things. Like, every year I'm like, we kind of like look around, but we haven't been able to like really look at things and go, let's get rid of it. And so I guess you can call it pre-nesting, because I don't think I'm nesting yet. But anyway, so I feel like we've just been, we had really tried to utilize our winter breaks to get a lot of stuff done. And, with us not feeling 100%, we ended up really focusing in on things last week and just getting stuff squared away. But, other than that, what else? I'm trying to think. I'm now in my third trimester, which means in like 2 months, a child will be born. It'll be Christmas again. And
whoa.
Except it won't be baby Jesus. That is born.
I mean, you could still.
We could name the child Jesus if it is a boy or a girl. We don't know.
Yeah.
But we likely will not.
Okay.
We're leaning more towards Magi. But,
okay. Good to know. Or Magus?
Magus. Yeah. Yeah. And their middle name will be T. So then everyone will say, "What's your name?" Magus T. And no. But anyways, so it's been kind of real. I've definitely felt the third trimester. It's crazy because, like, literally the day that my third trimester started, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm in a lot of pain. Like, it was like immediate. And then I started crying and I was like, why am I crying? I shouldn't be crying. And then it was just like, this is the third trimester. It's happening. This is where we're at now.
Whoa.
So, a lot of hormones, a lot of mucus in my nose, lots happening. So, let's get this 2 months done with is all I can.
Wow.
But
so
anyway.
Basically it's the question is, it's like, why the mucus and why the crying out of nowhere?
Totally.
Right?
Totally. And for people,
the answer is pregnancy.
Yes. And it's very common. This is a very common symptom for pregnant women in their third trimester, even throughout their pregnancy, to just randomly cry. And I don't think that it's a bad thing at all.
No, yeah, definitely not.
But
I mean, I randomly cried yesterday too, and I'm not even pregnant. So
yeah, that's okay, Beth. I think anybody can cry anytime.
Okay,
yeah, that's great. That's awesome.
Taking that from us, the pregnants. That's what I call them now.
The pregnants.
Yep.
Yes. Actually, I do want to mention on February 2nd, we're going to be having a baby shower at the church. and we're going to welcome everyone from the church to join. It'll be from 3 to 5. And yes, I did choose February 2nd because it's Groundhog's Day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
My
Great
kids don't
choice.
let me watch the movie anymore.
What?
My kids won't let me watch the movie anymore.
Why?
Oh, well, maybe I'll play the movie.
We watched it too many times. And I guess once a year is too many times.
So does that mean you had like Groundhog's Day watching Groundhog's Day? You know,
I don't even like check the weather report to see what the groundhog said. I just watched the movie.
but I mean, in your watching Groundhog's Day over and over, it was like you were experiencing Groundhog's Day watching Groundhog's Day.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
That is what was happening.
That's excellent. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to that, Jessica. That's awesome. The baby shower. Wow.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
My mom's going to come out and she's going to help throw the baby shower. But if anybody wants to help, you guys are welcome to. I don't care. But anyway, 3 to 5. We made sure that it was after Grief Share. Because Grief Share is from 1 to 3. Anyway, we've had a chat with Karen Spencer about that, and she doesn't think there's going to be an issue. So that's good news. So we just wanted to make sure it wasn't happening during Grief Share, because I don't know about you guys, but that would seem very weird. It would be kind
of like a paradox or something.
That'd be like there's a funeral in the sanctuary, but we're also having a birthday party in the Friendship Hall.
Well, you know, the Bible and the Christian message is all about life and death. So I guess that's what you'd have. That paradox is celebrating life and then also comforting those associated with death. So, but yeah, it does seem a little bit like not so much we want to, but that's fine. So if it's happening on the same day, I don't see any problem with that.
Yeah, we just didn't want it to happen at the same time. So
right,
but
exactly.
We're gonna see about if it can be somehow put in the bulletin for people to know about it, because we, there's a lot of the church that's part of our non-biological family, and we know a lot of people want to be able to just share in the excitement and also have cupcakes or something. So
and cookies.
No cookies.
Tim, do you want another toothache, Tim?
I'll give you another toothache. I'm threatening to punch Tim. You guys don't do that though.
Again, we do not have any formal trainings that we do with the podcast.
I didn't go to podcasting school before we did this.
We did not.
Yeah, like you have the improv class. I don't know if there is a podcast class.
There probably is. There's probably something. But
I mean, there's schools that teach you about podcasting. The department I work in, we have those classes.
Nice. That's good to know.
Yeah. Anyways, well, let's head into the. I guess I'll share some updates.
Oh wait,
yeah. Oh, for sure.
I had the perfect segue. Do you have any other updates, Jessica?
Oh yeah, there you go,
Beth. Why don't you fill us in?
I'm ready for these updates.
I think there's quilting this Saturday.
What?
But not men's, probably because they met last week.
Right. Already happened. Yep.
I actually don't have the updates in front of me.
It's okay.
We have Messy Church coming up on
the 19th.
Growing Generosity from 4 to 6 p.m.
Which is really difficult to grow. So make sure you bring your gardening gloves.
Bring your gardening gloves. Bring your trowel.
Yes.
Towel, because it rhymes with trowel.
And your trellis.
And your trellis. Any TR words, really. Your
tractor.
Bring your train.
And your trough.
Yeah. Okay.
And your tricks that are up your sleeve.
Optional.
Yes. But we do have the kitchen cleanup is on the 11th. It's on this Saturday from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. There's going to be pizza.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Pizza.
I love pizza.
It's a lot of.
I heard basically what's happening is people that show up, they're really just making pizza and then you're cleaning up after yourself.
How can I make pizza but not have to clean up after myself?
Yeah.
I'll do a kitchen cleanup.
Yes.
Ginny, she's a genius.
And then there's the senior luncheon on the 16th at 11 a.m. That's in the social hall. And then for those interested in PUMC 101, that's from 1 to 4 p.m. in the fireside room. That'll take place after the quilters meet in the social hall from 9 to 12. So just be mindful of that. But other than that, I don't know if they're still looking for January coffee hosts, but if you're interested in being a coffee host, I encourage you to definitely
fire within
the church on that. But on the 28th of January, I'll just mention it now. If you're interested in joining Beth's book club, it's based on the book Boundaries, which was written by Dr. Henry Cloud and Dr. John Townsend. And they're going to be held online or in person beginning on Tuesday, January 28th, starting at 6:30. So you can purchase a copy of the book before the class. It's encouraged to do so. And then sign up in the lobby. There's a sign-up sheet.
You can also sign up on the app.
Yeah, you can also sign up on the church app.
So it's going to be hybrid, Beth, online and in person? Oh, that's excellent.
Yep. It'll be hybrid.
Very good.
Because I know some people like to get out and leave the house, and I know others are far away or don't want to leave the house at night. So,
right. Awesome.
You know what else starts soon?
What?
My furniture.
Wait, is this Tuesday?
Yeah.
It's Tuesday.
January 20. Oh, why am I in May? My calendar went to May. That was weird. I was going to say, do you know what starts for us next Tuesday?
What?
Starting next Tuesday, and this also made us very sad, Beth, because we can't join your Bible study. And I was like, this was amazing because the first line I read was like, do you feel like your life is out of control? It was like something along the lines of that. And I was like, yes.
Yeah.
We're starting like labor classes.
Oh,
wow.
And they're in Valencia because our hospital that we're going to is Henry Mayo down in like Santa Clarita, Valencia area.
Mm-hmm.
So that's from 6 to 9 on Tuesdays for like a month or so, or like 6 weeks or whatever.
So I just
You perfectly timed it, Beth.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. That's
sorry, Jessica. The Bible study is on boundaries and not timing.
I know. I mean, gosh. Anyways.
Well, actually, that's a good point. Beth, the book for the study, is that on like maybe the bulletin or the emails or anything like that?
There's flyers that are circulating around in the church, and there's a little picture of the book on there.
Okay.
I need to get somebody a link to the book.
So that would be great for those of us that can't make it, but we still want to study the wonderful book that you have. Then excellent.
Yeah, I know somebody who wanted to do the Bible study but can't because her kids have scouts on that day.
Mm-hmm.
So she was just going to do the book, but I forgot to send her the link to the book.
Yeah, the link to there's an Amazon link to the book on the church app.
Oh, great.
So that'll take you directly there. And if you're not sure what it looks like, it's the one that has a large pencil on it.
A large pencil.
And a line being drawn down.
Nice. That's good.
When to say yes, how to say no, to take control of your life.
It's $10.
Yeah, it's $10 on paperback. Currently 50% off on Amazon.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you earn 10 points.
And for a 352-page book, that's incredible.
Yeah, actually.
But anyways, well, let's go ahead and head into the Methodist moment, because I think this will help tie things in a little bit more.
For sure. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Excellent.
Is the Methodist moment me talking about the...
Yes, we want to hear more about your Bible study that you're going to be leading. We want to promote it during our Methodist moment. So
okay,
I would like to know, why did you choose boundaries, Beth?
Well, remember when 2020 happened and everything was terrible?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. And we were all
I also
isolated.
remember 2021 and 2022.
And then 23, 24, 25. Anyway, everything was scary.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Like, I remember, like, being invited to stuff that I wasn't comfortable going to. And I'm a people pleaser. And I was just like, oh, I know I can't. And somebody recommended it in one of the groups that I was in on Facebook, this book called Boundaries. And I was like, I'm going to look in on that. And so I read it during the pandemic and I was like, this book is amazing. I love this book so much. Everybody should read this book. And it also just happened to be like a biblical book too. And
wow.
So I was like, I need to do a Bible study on this. And so like every single year, I'm like, should I do it this year? No, I don't think this year. No, not this year. This year, no. But this year, I was like, should I do it? And I was like, yes.
Yes.
So I picked the date and we're doing it. And my boundaries have gotten better. They always could still use work, but I really like credit that book with helping me take the first step that I needed to be able to say no in the height of the pandemic, when I'm being invited to things that I would love to go to, but the world is scary and you don't think the virus is real, but I do. And I can't come to your thing. I'm sorry.
Right.
So
sure.
Anyway, that was like the first step in Beth Does Boundaries. I don't know.
Yeah.
And it's a really, really good, profound, insightful, even if you're not a religious person, I think that you would still get a lot of use out of this book. Mm-hmm. I don't know why you're listening to this podcast if you're not a religious person, but you know.
Right.
Yeah, so it's a 16 chapter book, which ideally I would have wanted to do a chapter a week, but I didn't want to do a 16-week Bible study. So
right.
2 chapters a week. And I'm really excited about it.
So does that mean like everybody reads 2 chapters before the next week?
So yeah, I think that's how it's gonna go.
Okay.
Yeah. That sounds good.
But I don't think that people are going to have read the first 2 chapters at the first meeting. So
right.
I don't know how first meetings go. I guess we'll see.
Yeah, I think, it's going to be really good for a lot of people to be able to come together and talk about boundaries, because I do think that what some people struggle with is like when you establish boundaries, but then the other person doesn't respect your
boundaries.
Yeah.
You know
what I mean? Right.
And
right.
That it goes into that in the book. And yeah, I remember one time I was invited into this Facebook group that I didn't want to join. So I politely declined and said, no, thank you. And then I was invited like the next day again by the same person. And I was like,
my goodness,
I don't know what to do now.
Right.
Say no the one time.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh.
I feel like that happened to me like 7 years ago or like 10 years ago. People were like, join my yoga pant group. Buy my yoga pants. And I'm like, no, I don't want to.
Yeah, people I haven't talked to in years are like, hey, buy these yoga pants from me. Join this group. And I'm like, I don't want to.
We've got a sale on pants.
Hey, girl. That's how the messages start.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
that I think is really going to be so valuable. I think for me, I have a tendency to like overcommit to things because I'm trying to be a good people pleaser, but then I'm like, and then what happens is if you're not people pleasing in one way, then you're like, well, wait, so I established a boundary here, but then you find yourself people pleasing in other ways. So you really never get that full like boundary like set up for yourself to where you're able to take care of yourself effectively.
And that's like a whole cycle, because the reality is you can't please everybody. You just can't. And so what needs to happen is you need to make decisions based on what's best for you and not based on what you think this person is going to feel if you don't do it or whatever. And so
I think that's a really like healthy thing that everybody should know about. And I think by practicing that sort of self-care and having those boundaries, then everybody is better off. Like not only yourself, but everybody else, because you're doing things in a really genuine way.
Right.
When you say yes, you really, really mean it. Whereas if you're people pleasing, you may be like 85% there on a good day, but then on a bad day, you're like 40% there. And then like, that's not good for you or the other person.
Right.
So,
and here's the thing about boundaries. They're not for the other person. They're for you. They're to protect you. Yep. And if the other person is not in line with your boundaries, that's on the other person. That's not on you.
Right.
Place that boundary. Yeah.
Wow.
So exactly. Sold this upcoming Bible study by our conversation in this Methodist moment.
Yeah, this is
totally
a sneak
gonna
peek.
Miss out.
Yeah.
So
right.
Even
if you don't want to join because I'm the one who's leading it, and maybe you don't like me, get the book anyway. It's really good.
Yeah.
I think everybody likes you, Beth.
I think that's true. But
just get the book anyway.
Get the book.
Right. Get the book anyway. Just
tell your friends, tell your enemies.
Right.
Yeah. That's like the best advice you could give anyone, like, hey, my car broke down on the side of the road. Get the book anyway.
What should we have for dinner? Get the book anyway.
Yeah.
I abandoned my groceries. Okay. Get the book anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway.
You could add the book to your grocery list.
Add it to your grocery list. That's a great idea. You're out anyway. Get the book anyway.
Right. Exactly.
Totally.
Yeah. You just throw. It's kind of like what is it? Those things in the shopping aisle when you're going to check out. It's like, oh, there's the book. Just get it anyway.
Yeah.
While you're checking out.
Exactly.
Did we know that like I look at the magazines sometimes at the grocery store? Those are like $14 now. Like $15 for a magazine.
Yeah. And they're not even like factual information.
No.
We could come out with our own magazine and just put all this like Wikipedia information.
Yeah.
And say, the three magi, they like were totally all different heights and like
they had different names on different days. depending on who you're asking as well.
Right.
They never wore socks. You know, like that's basically
they had funny hats.
Yeah.
They had colorful
Some of the hats
clothing.
were serious, though.
What?
Some of the hats were serious.
Oh, right. Serious.
Funny.
Yeah, serious hats, funny hats. Something in between serious and funny. I don't know what that word is, but
a beanie.
A beanie. Yeah.
Well, speaking of the Magi, let's head into some quick sermon feedback. That's what I meant. And so basically this past Sunday, while Pastor Jim and his family were visiting family was it in Tejas? It was in Texas, right?
Yeah.
Tejas.
I didn't know what Tejas was. I was like, I haven't heard of that town in Texas, but
they were in Tejas.
Is that kind of like when you put an AUX into a word and then it's like you pronounce it with a ha sound instead of?
That would be an O sound, like faux.
Oh, yeah. Right, not ha. It's a O. You know, it's kind of like the word hot, but you have O, and then it's never mind.
well, did have a special guest.
We did.
Pastor Matt Seargeant. He's come by before, so
he's kind great.
We'll consider him a friend now.
Mm-hmm. I recognize him from Disney footage.
Exactly.
Right. There's that as well.
He did a sermon on who were these guys? And it was about the three wise men and trying to understand who they were, information about them, and very little is known about them, basically. They came from the east. They followed the stars to get to Jesus. And the Bible only shares who they are from a distance. And Pastor Matt Seargeant was saying maybe that's what was intended.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of question marks.
Not a lot of answers.
Unknowns, not a lot of answers. All we can think of is paintings that come to play. Maybe we're like doing a little play off of our recent masterpiece series. We don't really know much about them. It's up to our imagination for the most part. You know, there's been a lot of research and everything done, but very little is known about them. So, and I'll be honest, that's really my sermon feedback.
What are we supposed to do about that? Should we keep trying to find out?
I don't know. Yeah,
would ruin our lives.
Well, what's fascinating about it is you can do that research and then find out this or that information, but like that's not what was written in the Bible, and so there's a lot of speculation. And there's a lot of writings like later on and then around the time maybe. But I guess what occurred to me was that there's a lot of that in the Bible, actually. Like there's a lot of reading in between the lines on certain like passages. Like I can't think of any good examples at the moment, except that Pastor Jim did cover certain pieces where you actually just didn't know the background or like the inside information, and that I think is the case with the Gospels at times too. Like some of the Gospels don't talk about like Jesus being born, and then some of the Gospels like don't talk about other things. And like, for example, the Gospel of John is totally like different than the other three Gospels. And so like, it's kind of nice in a way to not have all the information, because that makes us just more studious in our faith journey and our reading the scriptures. So even though there was not a lot of information there, in a way that can kind of be helpful in in our being inquisitive and attempting to learn more and stuff like that. I did want to mention, though, that I thought it was super fascinating what Matt said about how the wise men would follow the stars based on what could have been like Zoroastrian. I think that's how you pronounce it. Zoroastrian, like faith. They would follow the stars based on like the significance of the stars. That I did not know could have been the case. And then also they're having like an inside relationship with King Herod. I mean, that totally explains like that they could have that relationship, that they were not Jews. I mean, my gosh, that's really interesting. And then the other takeaway is I really loved how Matt had said that it's a good idea, or just basically imperative for us not to put Jesus in a box. Like all these ways in which like people had expectations for Jesus. Jesus is bigger than that. And I like to think also that God is bigger than that. So like, that's just a really beautiful thing in general, and just a wonderful reminder for us as Methodists.
He's bigger than the boogeyman.
So
he's bigger than the boogeyman. Yeah.
We can put Jesus in a manger, but not a box.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. Yes. Right. That is good to know.
Okay.
Or in a cave. A tomb.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, he's bigger than the tomb. Bigger than the tomb. Like his leaving the tomb. It's like, oh man, there you go.
Whoa. Tim's mind has just been blown.
Yes, indeed.
I thought it was, well, I've always kind of known that we were unsure when Jesus's birthday was, but I never once thought to give him like an astrological sign. Like Jesus was probably a Capricorn.
That is a good point. That's interesting.
And then he said that Jesus was most likely an Aries. And both of, I believe my dad and both of my boys are Aries. And that is fascinating to me because my dad and Owen and Jonah are three very completely different people. So basically what I'm saying is I don't take a lot of stock in astrological signs.
Yeah.
And that's why.
Yeah. I find the information to be interesting.
Yeah.
But it's not like I will live my life around that information.
Right. I'm the same way.
You know, it's kind of like when you get Panda Express and you get the fortune cookies and you're like, I'm going to live my life based on what this says.
Oh, yeah. Great. I'm going to get lots of money later. Yeah. Just live life as normal.
You will live a prosperous life. I think that's what a lot of people said. But I think it's, you know, it's fun information, but I think it's, you know, as Methodists, I think it's good to remember that we only serve one God and that we, you know, we can always have good advice, you know?
Right.
But at the end of the day, the only person we're really going to kind of go to for anything is Jesus.
Right. And then also like throwing the Wesleyan quadrilateral in there, like using
haven't talked about that in a while.
Yeah, we're getting on board with doing that again. That's awesome. Yeah, so using that as a guide, like, you know, reason is so important here. Like, so we use our reason to like distinguish astrology or astrological study with like the scriptures and what we know in our spiritual journey, like our experience of our faith. Just like, at least like speaking from my own personal like take, is that it didn't really hold a lot of water for me. Like when I was in college, I had a few friends that they would like really put a lot of emphasis on astrology. Like, oh, well, this person is a Leo, or this person is you name it. And that's why they act like that. And I'm like, I don't know, you know, that I was naturally skeptic towards it because I just didn't have any really like significant reason to like think that like plays a big role in somebody's personality or somebody's like behavior and so forth. So yeah, but there you go. It's like we ask like questions about these things, and we like ask God, and then we look at our own like faith journey and just like our experiences in life and so forth, and then we come to a conclusion. And so there you go. That's why we don't necessarily we're not part of that group where all the wise men were. We're not following after the star and everything.
No.
We got Jesus already. So
I didn't go to podcasting school or astrology school.
Nope. Unfortunately, we did not.
No.
Right. But yeah, like you said, Jessica, it is fun. Like you have if it says something here like, oh, you're a different like type of astrologist or being practicing astrology or whatever, like Leo, Gemini, Capricorn, or you name it. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really provide that value that our faith in Jesus provides. It is kind of nice when you get a cool fortune from like, Panda Express or one of those Japanese or Chinese places, though. It can kind of be enjoyable, potentially therapeutic.
Yeah.
Yep. It's exciting. So we introduce the sermon and we leave you with the same question, wondering, who were these guys?
Right.
What's up with those guys?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What were they? Men from the East, or they were wise men, or they were magi. Yeah, just get the book. Yeah.
I'm going to become a scholar.
Nice.
And then just like, no, I am a scholar. And then I'm just going to like read what one scholar believes and then decide I believe that too. So then when Pastor Jim or Pastor Matt Seargeant says scholars believe, I can be like, that's me. I'm a scholar. That's what I believe.
Or you can say, I object. And then and then everybody's like, wait, what?
Or I'll say I want the truth, and they'll be like, you can't handle the truth.
You can't handle the truth.
Yeah.
But I do like definitely want to re-highlight how important it is that we have the utmost like highest appreciation for like God being bigger than our conception of God currently. Mm-hmm. I think that's really amazing and so powerful and like beneficial for our faith journey. That whatever we conceive of God now, God is bigger than that. And it just continues that way as we grow in our faith. And especially if we like do what Jesus says for us to do, like love God with all our heart, all our soul, all our mind, and all our strength. Like when we put everything into our love for God, then that's just, we can really see the beauty of God then, and that really God can't just be defined in one way or another. Like God is basically everything. God being the Alpha and the Omega, or the beginning and the end. So yeah, I think that's really cool. So that's something that it reminded me of.
I like it.
Yeah.
Well, let's go ahead and have some prayer requests here. Does anybody have any prayers in particular for this next week? Prayers that Beth can finalize for the grocery list.
Or banana.
So I in getting prepared for the podcast, my mom was on some errands or something like that, and she calls me and she lets me know that my friend Rye, who was in the choir, apparently he's being checked into the hospital.
Oh no!
And so I don't know what's going on. I'm hoping that we can maybe get in touch with him and possibly see him at the hospital if he is going to be checked in. But I just want to say prayers for Rye that he gets better, because I know that in the past he's had some health problems. I think he threw out his back at one point. But yeah, I hope that he's going to do okay. And so I just thought I would mention that.
We'll play where I can't talk. We will pay, play, and pray for Rye.
Thanks, Jessica. And I guess a prayer for myself to just keep going on my focusing strategy, so to speak, of utilizing the Pomodoro technique. I did find that the Pomodoro technique has actually helped me to start doing more things, because I'm like, oh, I'm just going to do this for a little bit. So that's kind of like implicitly practicing the Pomodoro technique. Like, if you're going to be doing something for 25 minutes and taking a 5-minute break, why couldn't you just do something for a little bit? Start anything, basically. So
yeah,
a prayer for me to practice that and see where it goes.
Practice the Pomo.
Yes, practice the Pomo. Yeah.
I like it.
Nice.
Wonderful. Beth?
Thank you.
Well,
anything in particular?
The plague has slowly made its way through every single person in our house, and it's still lingering because that's what it does. So I still have it, but I'm getting better. John got it. He's getting better. But I feel like Craig and Owen are in the yucky stages where it's horrible. Actually, last night I was listening to a podcast, Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend, and I had to turn it off because it was making me laugh so hard that I kept having coughing fits after. Okay, we're not listening to this right now. We can't handle it. So, prayers that we feel better.
Yeah.
Continued prayers for my mom. She had rotator cuff surgery last year, but then fell through the deck and undid everything from that surgery. So she had to have surgery again. And she's still recovering from that. I think that's it. Prayers that I can be productive like Tim. What about you, Jessica?
Yeah, thanks, Beth, for sharing all that. Definitely prayers for you on those things.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I think for me, just also continued prayers to get 100% better. I think most of us here are getting out of the woods, and by most of us, I mean just me and Amber. But yeah, we're just getting prepared for what's to come these next couple months. We have our anatomy scan on Friday, the 10th. It'll be our second one. They do it to just kind of track the growth of the baby, which is kind of cool because you get to be like, oh, they're going to be short like me. But anyway, they get to measure, the baby and all different angles of everything. We have to remind them that we don't want to know what the sex of the baby is. Because then when they get to those parts of the body, we turn our heads. Even though that's not what happened last time, Amber. Amber was.
Did she see something?
Yeah, she just saw the TV and they were on the area, and she looks up and she doesn't even know what she's looking at. She still didn't even know.
Okay. It's hard to tell.
Yeah. And so.
And sometimes what looks like a boy part is actually just a finger or something. And then
or the umbilical cord.
Or the umbilical cord.
Yeah. So,
for the longest time, there's a cat outside of my apartment that's really friendly and nice, and my mom and I take care of it sometimes. Well, anyway, we thought that this cat was a girl, but then we find out I don't know how long after we find out from the neighbor that it's a boy, and we're like, we thought it was a girl this whole time. And then, so you never know,
you never know.
Never know.
Yeah.
Never know. And that's okay. And sometimes things change, and that's even better. That's fine.
Yeah, for sure.
So anyways, but that's, kind of it. Just like continued prayers for our health, continued prayers for this final stretch of the pregnancy. And I think, I have been hearing that a lot of people are sick. And so we need to pray for a lot of people that are still recovering. Like, in this, Zoom call, 66% of us are ill.
Oh yeah, I was ill last week too.
So this
different thing, but
last week was 100%.
100%.
Yeah,
and there was
this week, things have gone down slightly. We're at 2/3 of the group, so there's a 2 out of 3 chance that someone is sick.
Milo said 2 out of 3 ain't bad though.
Yep.
Even if it's sick people.
Yep. So, but that's all on my end.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Jessica.
Thanks, Jessica.
Yeah, definitely. I hope everybody gets better. And I hope you and Amber get better, Jessica. Same to you, Beth.
Thanks.
No, just for me. Just for me.
Yeah. You know what? Just give mine to Jessica too.
Yeah. Yeah.
She needs it for 2.
Oh, actually, that being said, we got not 2 out of 3. We got 3 out of 4 because of our future co-host, Jessica.
We bumped it up 75%.
Yeah, 75% of us are
we're
under
good
the
at
weather.
The only training that podcasters are required to do are basic math skills. That's all that is required. Can you add? Great. You're hired.
Now, if we're talking about like least common multiple or something like that, and like fractions, I don't know about that.
That's what
it's probably been like.
I say, Tim, what does that mean? And then that's how we know Jessica does not do math.
I know exactly what this is, but I think Tim could explain it better for the people.
Yeah.
Tim?
Anyway,
I totally know this.
Yeah.
I don't know if I should explain least common multiple.
No, we
don't need
maybe not. Actually, that's something. That's perfect research.
Suspense.
What?
Yeah.
Yes, suspense. And just like we research things that we find in the Bible, we might do some research on mathematics after listening to Methodists to the Madness.
They need to take podcast school just like everybody else, Tim.
Totally.
Yep.
Just kidding. We are appreciative of our listeners.
Yes.
We are.
Yes. Thank you for listening.
That's why.
It's good seeing both of you.
Yeah. I would like to encourage all of us to stay Maddie Methodists.
Different places, we all have different names. No matter what life brings us, Jesus is the same. We're just your Methodist to the madness. Methodist to the madness. Methodist to the madness. Methodist to the madness.